Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. Just back from Madrid. Do you like me tan? Do you like me tan? Not much of a tan, but it is what it is. Factor 30 all the way, side it out. Just got back from Madrid late last night. Thought I'd drop this preview, reaction of the game. I always get mixed up, preview and reaction. So Real Madrid reaction to the game. Been away for nearly a week, so lack of content. I appreciate, people have been moaning that Big Steve's not been posting everything. So, but needs must, Champions League semi-final, Real Madrid. The stage was set. A lot of people saying, the heritage, the European quality is going to shine through. We were going out there, obviously on the back of last season when we took a bit of a beating. Last couple of minutes from them. Atmosphere in Madrid, we got there on the Sunday, was relatively quiet. There was a few Blues there. We had a peaceful night, apart from somebody not paying the bill in the restaurant, and we nearly got arrested, but that's another story. The bill got paid. We was released by the police on the street, and we was allowed to continue. But yeah, people rinsed the bill, and cost me about €50 for a Coke. So it is what it is. But Sunday night, relatively quiet, few Blues milling about, bit of a sing-song and that. Monday, the majority of the Blues started to arrive in the square, Plaza Mayor Square. I don't know if you've seen it, but I did some interviews with Man City TV. Me and Neda Manua, we did a quiz on Match Day Live. Big Steve won, with a little bit of help from my mate FG, because Neda Manua is one clever geezer. I think he's got a degree or something. Anything geography was on it. But, it was a good little quiz. I enjoyed it, working with City. Bit of fun for the Match Day Live viewers, so I enjoyed that. Yeah, on the Monday night, there was a lot more Blues there. It was getting a little bit more heavier. A lot of fans coming in. A few inflatable sharks knocking about on the Monday night. If you see on my Instagram stories, if you go on the highlight reel, Madrid, you'll see we had a few sharks out there. And yeah, match day came Tuesday, really hot in Madrid, so warm. Weather was like 32 degrees. Lots of Blues piling into the square early doors. We only had 1,800 allocation for Madrid, and the stadium, the size of it, that's fuck all, really. You know what I mean? It's crap. A lot of building work going on around the stadium. Last year was the same. There's a bit of work looking like it's getting there now. The roof, there's a roof on it now. Outside, all the paneling was on it and round it. So the stadium is improving, but there's something about the stadium. I don't know if for them who've never been to Real Madrid, there's something about the stadium and that just gives you that feeling like you've arrived. You know what I mean? Back in the day when we were knocking about the second division and we're bumming around the UK, Grimsby, Macclesfield, York, all them places, and then to find yourself in the Bernabeu for the Champions League semi-final again, it's good, man. It's quite unique. But the atmosphere was relatively calm. A lot of the Blues were chilled out about it. I think the mentality's changed a little bit with the City fans this season. Like I've said on streams before, I think we're all together now. The younger lot, the older lot, the middle lot, we're all as one. Do you know what I mean? We seem to have a sense of like confidence amongst the fans that we could go to Real Madrid and get something. And don't forget, second leg Etihad Stadium is really important. We needed to go to Madrid and make sure, A, we didn't get beat, B, we didn't concede a lot of goals. Away goals doesn't count these days, so it doesn't matter. 0-0, 1-1, 1-0 win, 1-0 defeat. I was happy around that mark. I'm thinking, get back to the Etihad with that. Happy days. So anyway, the atmosphere was building nice. Again, they did a walk to the stadium from the square about 7 o'clock. A lot of City fans mobbed up together and they all walked to the subway, went on the underground, plenty of sing-songs, got to the Santiago Bernabeu. You come literally out of the subway and the stadium's right there, like 100 yards away. So it's really good, the infrastructure in Madrid. No trouble. Didn't see any trouble on the day of the game. The police were there in force again, but nobody was, you know, acting the goat or anything. So there was no Miver. Few people were hanging out their arse from the night before. A few people were sunburnt. But the atmosphere in the day was really, really good. You know, the Blues were in full force. Great sing-songs all around the square. A few Irish bars off the square because it got that hot. A lot of City fans were mooching around there. And, yeah, the atmosphere was good. It was good. Ricky Hatton, obviously Man City fan, former world champion. Ricky was in the square with the fans. Fans own Danny, who you see on Match Day Live, milling about. And the atmosphere was brilliant. You know what I mean? Fogden, big shout to Fogden. You know, Fogden from YouTube, got a great channel. He was there doing his thing. So, yeah, it was good. It was good. Everyone was in great mood. Until we got to the stadium. And we got to the stadium. Just let me have a cup of tea. I've got my annual cup of tea here. Just bear with me. Until we got to the stadium. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when you got your ticket for Madrid, you had to type in your passport number for UEFA. And you had to, your name was on your ticket. Your name was written on your ticket by Man City. And you had to have your passport ID. We got to the stadium. There was a big coach greeting Real Madrid, thousands of Real Madrid on the front. The Real Madrid coach was coming through. The police were sorting it out. They were going mad and all that. Anyway, we got round to the City end and the queue was like probably 50, 60 deep. They were turning people away on the turnstile. There was people whose tickets didn't have the right name on. There were people who'd obviously tried to doctor the tickets, the names. You know, it's a shambles there because the genuine City fans are trying to get in. They've got a ticket from someone that can't go. So rather than that seat go empty, they've obviously took the ticket. They're panicking all week, wondering whether they're going to get in. City fans, some of them are changing the names. It happens at these games. When you put names on tickets, it happens. I don't know why they do it. You know, I don't understand why they do it. I don't get it. So anyway, they were throwing people out. There was representatives from Manchester City there who had the work cut out. There were kids crying who'd been refused entry with their parents. There were some tickets from supporters clubs that didn't have names on them. And it was chaos. And then I got to the front to go in, showing the ticket to the woman. She said, no. I said, what? She went, no, ticket is not real. I said, are you joking? No. And obviously I'm sober and I'm calm. So I was like, go and get somebody else. And they tried to say my ticket wasn't real. The name written on the ticket by the club, I think when someone's written the first S on my name, the pen didn't work, so they've dug it in a little bit. And anyway, they won't let me in. So this guy came from UEFA, he's shining his blue light on my ticket. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, it's a genuine ticket. Lots of City fans behind me were saying, Steve does a bit for the club. He's loyal. He goes home and away. He's not going to have a fake ticket. Anyway, long story short, they finally let me in. But it was a shit show. And last season in the Champions League final, you had murders outside the stadium, murders with Liverpool fans and all trying to get in and kicking off and people getting tear gassed and all that. Things like this don't help. If you're queuing up to get into a ground, you want to go up, get your ticket, put it in the machine, go in. You don't want to be arguing with people from UEFA. You have people from Manchester City trying to sort it out. You've got kids crying. You've got genuine fans like myself with genuine tickets being told I've got a forgery, which came from the club in a club envelope with my name on it. And yeah, it was a joke, man. It was a joke, and it ruins the mood before you go in. So straight as soon as you get in, you fume it. You know what I mean? But listen, I heard plenty of stories that a lot of City fans finally got in. I think Man City representatives outside the ground, fair play to them, got them in the ground. But some people didn't get in. And, you know, you go all the way to Madrid and you're getting knocked back for a semi-final. It's not nice, man. It's not nice. So I definitely think there's got to be a better system for that. So anyway, I get us in the ground. I'm happy with it. We're in the ground about an hour before. Atmosphere's building. The team's announced. Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Johnny Stones, Akanji. Worried a little bit about Akanji on the left against Rodrigo. That was my fear before the game. Rodri, KDB, Gundogan in the middle. We've gone Bernardo on the right instead of Mahrez. Grealish on the left, Haaland up front. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'm confident. I'm there. I'm thinking, yeah, we're having it. I looked at their team. There's nothing different about them. We know how they're going to line up. And yeah, the game kicked off. And for 35 minutes, I thought we were absolutely brilliant. I thought we controlled the play. John Stones coming into midfield, didn't have an answer for it. I thought we created a few chances. I thought we let him off the hook a couple of times. I thought that we looked comfortable. But you can't switch off in the Bernabeu. You just can't switch off, because last season's game tells you that. For 88 minutes with a better side, we switched off for 2 minutes. Bang, we're out of Champions League. So this is what I'm saying in this stadium. And I've got to mention this because this is how mad certain people are, yeah. It's the semi-final in the Bernabeu. I'm watching the game. I'm sober. I'm intense. I'm into it. I'm looking at the tactics. Ancelotti, Guardiola. Next to me is Daps, my good friend, yeah? He's had a few runs. 10 minutes into the game, starts telling me about Roy Hodgson's tactics for Crystal Palace since he's took over this season, and how he's been playing one man up front with somebody off him, and how the tactics are working. And I turned around and went, Daps, it's 10 minutes into the semi-final of the Champions League, and you're talking about Roy fucking Hodgson's tactics to me against Crystal Palace. Shut up. And he just started laughing and realised what he was doing. But I felt like I had his podcast in one ear talking about Palace, and I'm trying to watch the game. So when I calmed him down, then I realised that my head was on the game. But like I said, if you want to know anything about Roy Hodgson's tactics at Crystal Palace, go and message Daps, because he knows all about it, yeah? Not like anyone's fucking interested, but he knows all about it. But especially not in the semi-final. Don't want to know about Roy Hodgson's tactics for Palace. I'm sorry. But that's how random Man City away trips are. Crazy. So anyway, 35 minutes, we're dictating the play, we're happy. Vinicius has had a couple of goals at Kyle Walker. No joy. Rodric coming deep in the midfield, picking it up, doing okay. Benzema, a couple of layoffs here and there, but we never looked worried. And what they did is Madrid, they let Man City have the ball. Akanji, Diaz, Stones, Walker, let them have the ball. They sat deep. And then they sat on Rodri, De Bruyne, Gundogan. They made sure they didn't get the ball. Or if they did get the ball, they pressed them. And we were that high up in the Bernabeu, it was good to see how Madrid was setting out. Then all of a sudden, against the run of play, Vinicius gets the ball, comes inside, shoots, 25-yard past Ederson. Absolutely brilliant goal. Got to give credit to Vinicius for that. He escaped Kyle Walker for a minute. He wasn't even Kyle's man at the time. He'd come inside, unleashes a shot. You're never stopping it. Great goal. But one man I got to mention is Camavinga. Camavinga's a midfield player. He played left back. He created that goal. He stole the ball from Bernardo Silva and he made that goal happen. And I thought Bernardo didn't fancy having a go at Camavinga on that side this game. I thought Camavinga played really, really well. One of the best performances I've seen from a midfielder at left back. I thought he was fantastic and I thought he did well. And then he got the ball. He was aggressive. He bounced into midfield, give it inside to Vinicius. He got his space and he let one go. And then it went a bit flat in our end, I can't lie. There's a few City fans you could see that just their heads had went. And there was a few that they didn't give up. I didn't give up. We were going for it. We were singing. I'd say it's against the run of play. It was. So we get to half time. I'm sat there at half time thinking, you know what? We're 1-0 down. Can we keep it tight? Do we have to press? Are they going to catch us on the counter attack? There was a lot of things to think about. But thankfully, we came out second half. I thought Madrid had turned the screw a little bit in the second half. They were looking a little bit sharper. But then again, against the run of play, they're saying the ball went out. The ball might have gone out, but that was the first phase of play. Real Madrid won the ball back after that. Yeah, Camavinga lost it. And then that becomes the second phase of play. And then at the end of the day, then we got the ball, Jack Grealish into Gundogan. Gundogan swivels, lays it off to Kevin De Bruyne, and what a finish. Kev smashes it. Proper daisy cutter, right across the ground, bottom corner. Unreal scenes in the away end. We was up fucking going mental, people falling all over. Kev's come running to the City fans, giving it all this. And yeah, 1-1 in the Bernabeu, game on. You know what I mean? Man City back in the game. And then after that, there was loads of tactical fouls and little niggles here and there, and they were screaming for handball. And I thought the referee wasn't the greatest referee. I thought some of the decisions he gave was poor, but I thought that he could have been a lot worse. And at the end of the day, we seen the game out and we got to the end, 1-1. Absolutely fantastic result. Unbelievable result for Manchester City. 1-1 in the first leg in the Bernabeu. It leaves it now a straight shootout at the Etihad. Manchester City versus Real Madrid next week at the Etihad to go through to the Champions League final in Istanbul. And we're level. Unbelievable. Unbelievable position. And people talk about the heritage and the history of Real Madrid. Yeah, I've seen it. I respect it. But we dealt with it. We had a learning curve from last season. We didn't get excited. We calmed down. We got ourselves back in the game. We didn't panic when we went 1-0 down. And at the end of the day, we've seen the job out. And we got to the end of the game 1-1. And we've got to be confident, Blues. We've got to turn this Etihad Stadium next week into a fucking mad one. And I mean it. Everybody has got to be on it. Everybody. I'm going to do a video Tuesday to the fans what we need to do. And I believe there's a lot of tourist fans going. Now, I've got no problem with it if you're coming to support Man City. If you stood there with an iPad all game, then people have got a problem. I'm going to call it out because this is the biggest game of our modern history. And we need the fans back in the team. We don't need iPads and fucking selfie sticks. I'm sorry, we don't. Because there's a lot of people outside that stadium that can't get them tickets who would shout and bawl and support his team till the end. They're the people we need in there. So I'm hoping that it's not like that. And I'm hoping that this South Stand can rise and we can get behind the lads. But we've got a more important game than that coming up on Sunday, Everton. I'm going to do an Everton preview and make sure we talk about the Everton game. But listen, the Real Madrid game was fantastic. They locked us in at the end for a good hour. We got out. We got back to Madrid safe. We had a good sing-song late into the night. Even the Madrid fans knew. They knew. Some of them we spoke to were saying it's going to be tough at the Etihad. They needed to go there with a lead, in my opinion. Are Real Madrid dangerous? 1,000,000%. Can you write them off? No chance. We've got a really tough game at the Etihad next week, and we've got to make sure we get the job done. But listen, it was a fantastic trip with fantastic people, great friends out there, good crew, young and old. Everyone that came up to me, had a chat, respect it. Plenty of pictures, people thanking me for doing these videos and saying, keep it going, Steve, you know, your positivity and all that. Listen, that's what I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the fans, no one else. When the fans have had enough of me and they say, Steve, these shit, this mate, sack it, then I'll sack it. But I enjoyed it. I think it's 51 games for the season for me, home and away this year. Getting a little bit tired. I deserve a break in Istanbul. So I'm praying to Man City to get me to Istanbul and let's get to this final. But listen, Blues, please like, share, subscribe on this channel. I appreciate everybody. Please leave your comments below. What do you think of the second leg coming up? Do you think we can do it? Do you think we go with the same team? Do we use the same tactics? Do we change it? Let me know what you think. And yeah, listen, I'm still tired from Madrid. I'm going to go finish my brew. And all I'm going to say is it's half time in this game. It's 1-1. We're taking one game at a time and we keep on moving. We keep on rolling. Everybody keep the faith. Have a great weekend. Come on, City.